CBS 42 Storm Track Severe Weather Update.
Good afternoon. I'm Storm Track meteorologist Ashley Gann. We are tracking what is Hurricane Nate. It is now beginning to make its way towards land, not officially making landfall yet, but the effects are being felt and seen across parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. We are getting reports of a possible tornado near Gulf Shores right now. This is going to be something we're going to have to watch very closely for, especially for all of these storms being produced on the east side of this storm as it lifts to the north and to the east. At this time, Nate's the center of circulation is still sitting just off the coast, and that is tracking north-northeast. You can see a few of those bands of rain, very light in the Montgomery area. As I zoom out, this cold front to our west is going to really be pushing this rainfall, and we're also waiting for Governor Kay Ivey at this time as she has some remarks to make about tropical or hurricane storm Nate. So as soon as Governor Ivey approaches the podium, directors just let me know and I can toss out to her. But right now the wind speeds are at 90 miles an hour, a strong Category 1 hurricane expected to make landfall later on this evening at around 7 p.m. near New Orleans all the way up towards Biloxi and Gulfport. When the wind speeds reach 96 miles per hour, that's when it becomes a Category 2 hurricane. And then look what happens. It begins curving to the north-northeast with the winds packing a punch at around 70 miles per hour even as it moves inland. This is going to be a big wind event, a rain event, and obviously we'll be watching for the impacts that we could see regarding any type of rotations in those storms. So because most of Alabama is sitting on the east side of the storm, we could be in the area for some of those spin-up tornadoes. So something to keep a watch on tomorrow especially. The rain will be felt later on today. Those tornadoes could happen overnight tonight through the day tomorrow. And then this will track off and quickly move into the Tennessee Valley late Sunday night into the early part of Monday as it tracks off to the north and to the east. So it's going to be a pretty fast-moving system, something that we're watching very closely. And we can see they're preparing right now for Governor Ivey, so we are going to watch very closely for that. So weather alert is in place for today, really late tonight and into tomorrow. So it's something that we have to keep a very watchful eye on. Remember, right now, Hurricane Nate, a Category 1 storm. And here is Governor Ivey now.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you all for being here. You know, Saturday's important days in Alabama because this is college football season, and we're very much interested, and we are a college football state. So most Alabamians, or many Alabamians, are focused on their favorite teams today. And while we know that football is important and we wish our teams well, today our focus must shift, and it must be on the weather and our condition as we get prepared for this hurricane that's coming our way. Earlier today, I signed a request for a presidential emergency declaration. This will be sure that federal assistance is available to us for emergency response. I have again been in contact with FEMA Director Brock Long and the White House, and they've assured me that the federal government will give us every assistance possible. We also remain very much in constant contact and communication with our local officials, both elected and EMA and law enforcement in our coastal counties. And now we expect that Nate will make landfall around midnight somewhere along the Alabama-Mississippi line as a Category 2 hurricane. Areas along this coast area are likely to already start feeling the effects of the storm, but our team is in place and ready to provide whatever assistance is needed. Many of our inland counties also under storm watch warnings or watches and flash flood watches. This threat is for real in Alabama. We expect a landfall near the Alabama-Mississippi line with the heaviest impacts along US 90's Causeway, Dauphin Island, Fort Morgan, Biola Battery, Orange Beach, and Gulf Shores. Inland areas will also be impacted with heavy winds and rain. This morning I ordered the Emergency Operations Center at EMA to a level 1 beginning at noon today. Alabamians must remain vigilant and ready to withstand whatever comes. So before the storm arrives, please secure your outdoor belongings, and those near the coast or in low-lying areas should plan to go to higher ground and do it immediately. It's imperative that you decide now how and what you're going to do as you respond to this storm. Whatever preparations you are making, let me encourage you to do it now and finish before sundown tonight. After sundown, the conditions along our coast and in some inland areas will simply be too volatile for anyone to be moving about. Officials in Mobile and Baldwin counties have opened shelters for those evacuating their homes, and a list of these can be found on the Governor's Office website. That is the official website is governor.alabama.gov/Nate. That's governor spelled out .alabama spelled out .gov/Nate. Once the storm makes landfall, conditions will be such that first responders will not be able to answer calls for help until it becomes safe to do so. So that means if you are put in harm's way after the storm hits, we won't be able to get help to you. So please, please, it's very important that you decide what you're going to do, where you're going to go, and that you do these things immediately. With Hurricane Nate, we see strong storm surges and heavy rains, and there's a high probability of tornadoes and wind damage. And these wind damage, they're going to be high winds throughout our state and not just on the coast. This means we'll likely have power outages, and while we've got our business partners in place putting resources ready to restore power, we don't know how long that will take. So if you are electricity dependent, that means you need access to electricity to sustain life support efforts, then please contact your local EMA office now. It's important that they know that you are electricity dependent. Make sure your emergency kit is stocked and ready for several days. Included for sure have your food and water, your medications, batteries, and in this age of technology, let me encourage all of you to be sure that your cell phones are fully powered so that you can stay in touch and keep up with what's going on. I have instructed local officials to make whatever decisions are needed to save and protect life. So y'all heed their warnings and do what they say when they say it. We must take this threat seriously. The state is ready to help our local partners, and we are beginning to move these resources into the planning stage. We are pre-positioning our people and resources, and the National Guard is standing by to help as well. My friends, storms like this are unpredictable. But at this stage, it is fairly certain that Alabama will face the brunt of this storm. We cannot control this storm, but we can control how we prepare. Soon, Hurricane Nate, Category 2, will be impacting Alabama. And once it does, we're ready to respond and be here to meet the needs of our people. Alabamians are resilient, you're determined, and when we're prepared, we can face whatever comes our way. So I want to say for sure, take action now, and may God continue to bless each of you, your families, the great state of Alabama, all of those who are in storm's way, and those who stand to serve in response. So now I'll turn the podium over to the meteorologist, Jim Stepkovich. Jim.
And we'll quickly take a look at the sky. We'll get back to your pregame show here in just a second. I do want to show you a live picture from our Gulf Shores tower cam, though. This is from our sister station, WKRG, down in Mobile. They were capturing some rotation earlier, and now it is a gray and ominous sky there in Gulf Shores. So we're keeping a watchful eye from the coastline all the way through central Alabama. Here's a look at the map. See all those red boxes, tropical storm warnings stretching all the way up into central Alabama. Lots of activity beginning to develop. Remember, before the eye of the storm even moves inland, we are going to face strong winds and the potential for some of these spin-up tornadoes. That's something we're going to be dealing with later tonight and throughout the evening for central Alabama. Rain starting to move along the I-20 corridor as we speak. We'll continue keeping you updated with the latest throughout the afternoon.
This has been a CBS 42 Storm Track Severe Weather Update.